Night Driver, also known as Road Race for the Commodore Max machine in Japan, is a very early and incredibly basic first-person driving game. Originally developed by Atari and released in the arcades all the way back in 1976, this can be considered as one of the earliest first-person racing games ever made, and is commonly believed to be one of the first published games to feature real-time first-person graphics. But was it any good though? Well, basically, you have to control a car which must be driven along a road at night time without crashing into the sides of the road as indicated by roadside reflectors, which, in their most basic form, are portrayed by these sort of white bollards. The game could be controlled with joystick, or by pressing F3 you could opt to use the Commodore paddles. To be honest, playing with the paddles was probably the most authentic way to play the game, and I imagine that this was the preferred control method for many C64 owners back in 1982. Even the ingenious title of Night Driver was clearly inspired by the limitations of the 70s arcade hardware. If the game has to have a predominantly black screen, why not wave that away by setting the whole thing at night? Sort of cast my mind to the unreleased Penn and Teller's Smoke and Mirrors for the Sega CD, where there was a minigame in development called Desert Bus, a bus simulation game, where the player drives a desert bus from Tucson, Arizona to Las Vegas, Nevada, in real time, at a maximum speed of 45 miles an hour. So that's a 360 miles journey that would take you 8 real hours to complete. Check that out online. Crazy concept, but in fact not much different to this game. I'll concede that an endless parade of white rectangles in an abyss of darkness does stretch the definition of graphics to near breaking point, but you have to bear in mind that the original arcade version of this was older than Star Wars.
Well, that's the real trick, isn't it?
In its own way, Night Driver was just as revolutionary as Star Wars as well, and as mentioned earlier, was one of the first games to truly popularise a first-person perspective. 2 smoothly animated rows of posts are surprisingly effective at conveying the illusion of speeding down a country road, in the dark. The humming of the well-tuned engine further enhances the sensation of speed. Okay, maybe I am sensationalising it a little, but come on, this was 1982. When you pick up some speed, the bollards sort of disappear, making it difficult to anticipate which way the road is actually turning. Faster speed offers that nice sense of risk and reward as you chase for the highest scores, whilst also needing to periodically slow down in anticipation of hairpin turns. Crashing causes the screen to crack with the sound of a resonating explosion, which was a nice touch. I remember those childhood memories of watching my dad playing this and laughing himself to tears whenever he crashed repeatedly. I also have a vague sort of early memory where I took the paddle controller in the car once when we were going out shopping so that I could steer from the back seat. Remember, this was 1982. I was very young at the time. Let's face it, Night Driver won't ever have won any awards for the graphics department, but the sheer playability of it was great back in those days. I'd like to also think that the programmers never intended on keeping that large red car for the bottom of the screen, and were just using it for development purposes, as it's far too chunky for the road. Even the Atari version had a reasonably sized car compared to the road itself. It just made dodging the barriers that little bit tougher on the Commodore 64 port when I compare it to the other versions. But yeah, you just drive on a continuous road and score points by travelling a certain amount of distance without crashing into the sides. At least there were no other vehicles to worry about, even though I doubt you could pass any other cars in this massive thing. I actually have this on the Evercade Atari Collection 1, but it just makes me dizzy playing it, as the roads swirl around too fast. I do prefer it on the Commodore 64, and hopefully it brought back some great memories for you too. Thanks for watching guys, hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and please let us know your memories playing this game back in the day. I'd be interested to get your feedback on a classic title I just had to include on the channel. Don't forget to subscribe and stick around for more nostalgia. And hopefully, I'll see you all in the next video. Until then, bye for now.
You